Hi there, guys. So I'm back here with another vlog today, and this is one of my vlogs where I'm going to keep it 100% real from the jump right here because I don't want to pretend anymore. I don't want to do anything that makes me seem like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy is confident, this guy is this or that. No, I do care about you guys' opinion on here, the few people that watch me, but the whole purpose of my channel is to keep it 100% real, the real Ali, and also see myself as the way I come across to people and just work on my skills, really. I've been struggling with awkwardness and embarrassment the last few days and, just accepting myself for who I am. I've accepted myself, most of me, anyways. I've accepted myself to a certain extent, but the other part that I seem to struggle with accepting myself, I think it's to do with performativeness. So when I used to come on here before, I used to have topics that I didn't prepare, but then whenever I would talk about topics, for example, weather, I would talk about weather like, well, here in Leicester, the weather it's fairly nice. We've got grey clouds at the start of the spring season, and then it changes to summer and it's a bit stuffy, and it's nice because you can enjoy yourself, but then you won't feel too stuffy. So I'll be thinking about what to say next and try to sound a bit professional and like sound like I know what I'm talking about. But really and truly, there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you're talking about, unless you're trying to give somebody advice and, give some sort of stats, and that's where you're crossing the line. But everyday conversations with people and everyday interactions, you don't need to know what you're talking about. And the fact that you want to sound professional and sound like you are the upfront, smart person or the most wise person, it's all just a lie. It's performative. It's exactly why people can't connect with certain people. See, there's a beauty in not knowing everything and also having a lot of flaws, not countless flaws. And even though if that's the case, that's fine as well. But your flaws, the things that make people cringe about you, there's a beauty in it. I'll tell you what the beauty is. So people connect with people that have humanly flaws, issues, and are not afraid to present it. So the more you hide those flaws and inconsistencies, the more you won't be able to be read. No one can connect with you. You're going to come across as an AI robot. You're going to come across as somebody that's all, fakely flavored, just not a genuine being. So whenever somebody else sees that you make mistakes, you suffer like, a human suffer, you've got issues just like anybody else, you seem more authentic, and people like that. It's strange to think that, people like us that have got anxiety, the few people in the world that have anxiety, we think that, people love to connect with people that are more clean in general, more perfectly polished, and they have a nice vibe around them. But a lot of the times we don't think that. People, just like to feel human connection, and that human connection itself is sometimes we mess up, sometimes we don't come across perfect, sometimes we are just our own version of, human. Everybody's their own version. Somebody's got flaws, or for example, they can't walk straight. Somebody's just limping all day and they feel like, oh, whenever I'm walking in the crowd, I'm gonna have to walk a bit upright. Okay, somebody else has got speech impairment, so they can barely pronounce a few words. They're stuttering, stumbling. Me to a certain extent. And then they try to patch that up, they try to correct it, and other people can sometimes pick that up, like, this person's got, I can tell, I can feel the fact that this person's not sounding right here, nothing wrong with it, but why are they not proud of it? Why are they not flaunting it? Like, are they insecure? It's the whole insecureness that actually pushes people away. So as long as you accept your flaws, put yourself out there, work on yourself as well, then that's all that really matters. But just don't be insecure and feel like you need to run away from yourself, because if you're gonna run away from yourself, nobody else is gonna be with you because you're gonna wanna, abandon anytime things get sticky. So yeah, I'm just gonna completely accept my flaws here, accept my inconsistencies, and I'm gonna try not be insecure about the way people see me, because whatever they see is what they get, really and truly. And just this week, I had a few conversations. So I popped into the gym. I spoke with two girls one time. I said, "Hey, do you not know where the skipping rope is? I'm a bit new here." And then she looked at me, and then I just looked at her. She said, "Oh, maybe towards the backside." And then I said, "Oh, okay, thank you." You see, I opened the conversation there, even though I was looking a bit lost and, walking around like a bit goofy. I still went up to her and said, "Hey, excuse me, do you know where the skipping ropes are?" She she didn't know either, but I quickly closed that conversation. And that's not from a like, how do I say, like, that's not from a place where I just wanted to shut down and run away from it, but it happened automatically. My body and brain are thinking, okay, if I say anything else, I could have easily said, "Oh, right, why would I keep the ropes all the way there?" Like, usually ropes are, just hanging on the walls or just near the punching bags or anything. I could just say something stupid like that. Like, just anything, just to follow her up and keep the conversation. I'll just say, "Oh, how long have you been going to this gym?" But I feel like my body sort of has so much references that usually I stutter after those few lines. Or if I freelance and just say whatever's on my mind, they're gonna start seeing me different. I was in a safe zone right there the minute I just said, "Where are the skipping ropes?" And then she pointed out, I was like, "Okay, thank you." That was basically such a safe thing for my mind. But to get out this whole insecurityness and just awkwardness and just feeling shameful about my existence, I needed to say a few more lines, maybe just one more line, and just watch my body. And whenever it stumbles up, just literally stay with it. And whatever her facial expressions show, because most of the time it's the facial expressions I go off. So if it goes like, I don't know, or, if she says a one liner that I can't follow anything up with, and then I just feel like, okay, yeah, well, I'll see you around. I could just follow it with that, and that would just push me just a bit more. Like, okay, now, I'm saying exactly what's on my mind. I'm just opening up a bit more. There's nothing wrong with me. Even if it goes left, which it didn't, then it's fine. So slowly I'll grow. That's my take and my approach on it. But all in all, that conversation and another conversation at the mosque and a few conversations with my brother, with my dad, usually I'm just performing everywhere. Like, yeah, it's like that. I still do, but slowly, I'm gonna have to start using my natural senses and just in the moment thoughts to just come out and say it. And whatever reaction they get from it, I'm just gonna process it like, "Oh, he did that this time. Interesting," and then either follow up with something else or just keep it stepping. You know, there's literally no way. There's no manual in life. There's no manual in how you talk to people. Nobody really goes through school of behavior, school of the art of talking or anything. No, we just learn naturally. We keep trying. We keep putting our thoughts out there, our feelings. We just be vulnerable in situations, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it doesn't. And I shouldn't take it personal, anyways. And ironically, that's exactly what has ruined mine and people are like out there that feel the same way about not being able to open up and say things on their mind. When we were young, like when I was young, I did this. Like, I opened up. I was that innocent child like everybody else. I'd say things on my mind, but I would get reactions that sometimes pissed people off, and it would get me into physical situations like a fight in school. Even at home, like I would be told off, and I would learn slowly. I would learn, like, don't say these things, and that sort of had a domino effect into every part of my life. And before you know it, it was much safer to just be quiet and just be background furniture. which I thought all the way until my late 20s. I thought, you know, life is always going to be like this. There's no point trying, you know. Just accept this and just avoid people. Just, it's not for you. You know, you're just designed and created to be a doormat, you know. You're just designed to be CO2, oxygen, nitrogen, and Ali, you know, just something there. No, I'm gonna work on myself, and if I cringe, you're gonna cringe. I don't give a shit, you know. So yeah, there goes my slight awkward vlog, and I'm just trying to let loose here. So yeah, I'm gonna continue working on myself and everything else. Every conversational opportunity I get, I'm gonna say a one-liner that's like not performative at all, something that I was thinking maybe, and just see how it comes across, and just observe it, you know, whether somebody likes it, whether they hate it, whether they pick a fight with me, you know. Even if I'm, you know, disappointed with somebody, I'm just gonna say out my mind. I don't really care no more. You know, I've cared for 30 years of my life and it's got me nowhere really. So more to accepting my flaws and, you know, embarrassing myself if I have to, because it's me at the end of the day. If you find me embarrassing, then I don't really care. I stopped caring what you think of me. Exactly what I think of other people, basically. So I'm trying to screw into my mind. But anyways, beautiful vlog here. I feel like I've achieved something instead of, you know, going to the park or even vlogging here or any other shop or wherever I used to do my vlogs, and just being a bit sort of fakeish. At least I'm keeping it real here. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on another vlog here. So I'll do more of these. I'm really enjoying these vlogs here where I'm just completely letting go, you know. And I hope you lot can engage with me in the comment section. For an entire year, that's a story for another vlog, by the way. I've been making vlogs here and, you know, just a few other videos. I get a little bit of interaction, but please engage with me if you're here. But take care. I'll catch you guys on the next vlog. Enjoy, embrace your awkwardness, never feel ashamed of anything, and just live life. Who cares, you know? Take care.